If you are a real estate investor or an aspiring real estate investor in 2023 or beyond, and you are, of course, hearing all of this recession talk being thrown around, these are the three things that are crucial to know about the recession and about a changing economy as a real estate investor. First and foremost is to get creative. I think now more than ever, of course, it's always good to be that investor that has different creative solutions and thinks outside the box. But I do think that now more than ever, it's super important to be that solution seeker, that person who's really creative. And what you can do proactively is actually go out and learn additional creative strategies that you can utilize and really network deeply and figure out ways that you can be that person. Because if you can carve out that reputation for yourself as being like the one who always has a solution and who can always figure out what to do with any given property or deal, I think that not only sets you apart, but it helps you not just survive challenging times, but really thrive in them.
Yeah, for sure. And being creative, I think, is, I mean, when the market shifts and there's a recession, right? Recession is technically two quarters of negative GDP growth, right? And so when you look at what a recession really is, it's a changing economy. With a changing economy, there's almost 100% chance you're going to have to adjust your strategy. But what's really helpful in those times is not just waiting till you have to adjust, but just always be like, even now, 6-7 years in, I'm learning something new literally every single week. But so you have to open up your mind and be open to being a student of real estate investing, because there are new tactics, there are new strategies being born literally every single day. And so it's important that you stay up to date on those, because as the market's shifting, you're not worried about it because you've explored all those options and you know which direction to go down.
New and old. I think sometimes too, like we see cycles of different real estate investing strategies be more effective in different markets. And so sometimes they'll be a little cyclical too. And so you can pay attention to historically what's happened and see if things are going to be coming back around in some ways as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So the second thing is definitely understanding how changing economics can also impact families, communities, and individuals on more of like that emotional level. So without sounding like a softie, it is important to understand how to navigate those kinds of conversations. I always think that the more you can hone in your people skills and figure out how to, show empathy when that's necessary, and how to push when that's necessary, and how to kind of navigate those different situations while understanding what someone may be going through or thinking or feeling, can definitely set you apart and give you an advantage to really survive.
Yeah,
and thrive.
There's a really high probability as an investor that the deals that are going to really be good, you're going to be dealing most likely directly with the owner of the property, and there is going to have been a critical life event at some point pretty recent.
Yeah.
And so, like, to your point, being able to empathize and like understand that situation, and to your first point, provide a solution that brings both parties together, right? Because a lot of times, obviously, we want to buy the deal. We want to go make money on it. Like, we can't push our agenda on those conversations, right? We have to seek to understand and then bridge the gap with a solution.
Yeah.
Your ability to have those conversations with people who are in distressed situations and are in situations that are less than ideal, that will be a huge advantage for you to carve out those good deals.
Yeah. Being able to sense it and kind of navigate around it, because you're coming into those conversations from a business side where you're probably not bringing in any emotion at all, maybe a little bit. And then you're communicating with someone who is likely very emotionally tied to their property or whatever their situation is. And so when you've got someone who has no emotions and then a lot of emotions, you've got to meet somewhere in the middle in order to effectively navigate that conversation and, get the result that you're looking for. So that piece is very, very important. And again, I think that, like, I even heard you talking about this yesterday. Salespeople oftentimes kind of have this negative, reputation. People just make these assumptions. I think especially with real estate investors, wholesalers, things like that. If anyone's familiar with them, a lot of times they've had a negative experience. And so if if you can be that person that rewrites that narrative a little and actually comes into it with compassion and trying to find a good way to help someone out, I think that it can be a really powerful and positive thing.
And still holding to your pro forma.
Yes.
Sticking to your guns, get the price you need.
That's a win-win-win across the board.
Yes. And find a solution. That's right.
Yep. And the last and final thing that can really help you in a recession or in just changing markets and shifting economics is paying attention to what the data is showing as far as different buying patterns, selling patterns. We were just reading an article yesterday I shared with you that's talking about if you want to become a better agent, there's only one place to do it, and that is BAMX.
Everyone tells you what to do, but BAMX shows you how to do it.
Whether it's creating the perfect green screen video, overcoming objections, or creating scroll-stopping captions, BAMX has it.
Click the link below and use the code HOA for 10% off your yearly subscription at checkout.
The increase in people looking for new construction versus like existing properties.
Yeah.
And so just paying attention to that information, and again, understanding some cycles, things that'll be cyclical, trying to predict as much as possible. And then just paying attention to your local communities too, and the neighborhoods, what's going on there is definitely going to impact how and what you choose to do with any given deal.
Yeah, I think like a good real estate investor understands macro trends, right? National housing trends, and they can take those, draw their own conclusions, but pair it, because obviously there's sub-markets, right, within the overall market, the broad market, and pair that macro info and what they know and believe to be true and where the economy is going with their boots on the ground experience, what they're actually doing day to day and seeing in their community.
Yeah.
When that person can pair those together and create clarity in a direction, I think that's very powerful as a real estate investor.
Absolutely. So if you are a real estate investor currently, you're aspiring to be one, you're dipping your toes in the real estate world, regardless of kind of your situation currently, it is no secret that that's a lot of the talk in the news and media, and that it's just something that we're navigating through with different changes in our economy. And so it's important to understand these three things to help you not just survive it, but also really thrive as an investor in this market. So we'll see you guys in the next video.